This is the Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. Today we're talking about how to make it impossible to fail. Now this is an awesome subject if you understand it, because you want to succeed. You want to have an abundance in every single category of your life, which means that you will be a massive success. If you're going to know how to become a success, you got to know how to make it impossible to fail. And we're going to start number one with the quote of "you only fail if you choose to not get up again." You only fail if you choose to give up. If you don't give up, you cannot fail. In fact, even if you lose, you will only have lost the battle, but you will eventually win the war as long as you never ever give up. Giving up is not allowed in the game of success. If you give up, it's done. You failed permanently and nothing will ever change in your life, and there will be an exponential decline in every single area of your life. When you choose to master that one thing of showing up consistently for a long period of time, no matter what, the exponential growth curve is going to happen for you. This is not if you do this or if you do that. It's the simple truth of showing up and not giving up. Simply keep going. Keep going. This is in relation to everything in your life. Sometimes people will say, well, there are times when it's good to cut your losses. And yes, I agree, but those are exceptions to the rule. The rule is to never give up. Sometimes you actually choose to lose the battle so that you can eventually win the war. But that's not giving up, that's just cutting your losses. However, if you choose to never give up on your dreams and goals, you will eventually attain your dreams and goals. Let's go through the three categories of life, which are health, finance, and relationships. Let's start with health, number one. How can you guarantee that you will succeed in the health department? Okay, now barring any unforeseen circumstances of accidents or any injuries that might happen that you have no control over, there are two aspects to optimal health. You gotta eat right, and then you gotta exercise consistently. Eat right and exercise consistently. Eating right is something that you won't learn immediately right now and get it perfect. It doesn't work like that because we're getting more and more information as we go along. And we haven't come to the perfect diet yet. There are some that have come really close, and one of the people that I would recommend, however, I would add a little bit more meat and a little bit more protein to this diet, is the Nutritarian diet by Dr. Joel Fuhrman. My mother was struggling with her health. She had heart problems for a while, and she used this Dr. Fuhrman's books to become healthy again. She even had one Skype call with him, and it improved her health radically. Now, it's very difficult to use that diet, but you can check it out yourself. Dr. Fuhrman, the Nutritarian diet. I would, however, add a little bit more protein, a little bit more meat, but that diet is pretty optimal if you manage to follow it. But it's difficult. Eating right is something that you choose to do and choose to improve over time. You won't do it overnight, so allow yourself that process. And don't worry about it, okay? Just keep improving on it. The second aspect of health is exercise. I can guarantee for you that I will never and cannot ever become fat. Again, it's because, it's barring the accident and barring the injuries and all that stuff, but I can't. It's physically impossible, and I'll tell you why. Right now, we've got an exercise regimen, me and my wife, and most days, I'm talking 5 to 6 days a week, sometimes it's 4, We exercise in the morning. We go to up 9 flights of stairs in the new apartment where we live right now, in the apartment building. And we do that 3 times, up and down, up and down, up and down. And then 3 hours later, we go to the gym. And we stay at the gym for about an hour and a half, and we do our exercises, we do cardio, and we do stretching. And then in the evening, 3 hours later, we take the kids out to the park and run around, play soccer, and do different things with them. Do you understand that if I keep that schedule up, okay, then it's impossible for me to ever get fat. It's not acceptable for any of us ever to be fat. If you exercise consistently over a long period of time, let's say if you're fat today, it takes you 1 year or 2 years, you'll never be fat again. It cannot physically happen if you choose to eat right and exercise consistently. There's no excuse for men in terms of being fat. Number 2 is the financials aspect. Okay, so here, this is how to secure for you to never fail when it comes to your finances. And I'll divide this up into personal money and business money. If you take it from a personal perspective, if you set aside 50% of all of your net income, meaning obviously you don't have your tax, right? Your tax money, it just goes out of your pocket if you have a job immediately. You never see that money. You're like, who's Fitka? Exactly. If you put a huge chunk of that net income into a business or into any venture that you set up or into stocks or anything that you feel like you want to invest your life into, that money is going to grow. And you only use that certain amount that you have left for your daily expenses. If you do that, it's called paying yourself first, and I've made a lot of videos about it. If you do that, it is not physically possible for you to ever fail when it comes to your financials. You will always have enough. You will always succeed, and you'll always have money. This is how you show up consistently when it comes to your financials. When you get your paycheck, or when you get your paycheck from your business or whatever it is, you take half of that money and you set it aside, paying yourself first, and then with the rest that you have, then you pay your bills. Always follow that principle, and you are bound to become massively wealthy, and you will become a millionaire. And if you follow the business principles that I share on this channel, you will become a multi-millionaire. It's physically possible not to become one in the 21st century if you follow these principles. Second of all, in the business aspect, it's exactly the same thing, except you're taking half of the money that you've got in profits and you put it into taxes. Half of it. No matter if the taxes are 20%, 30%, whatever it is, you put half of that money directed to taxes, and then you have a happy surprise when they don't require that much from you. That's how you succeed. That's how you make sure your business will always thrive, because most of the time, the reason why a business fails or flops is because they don't have money to pay taxes. Okay. The last one is relationships. This is my favorite subject. This is my expertise. And I'm going to share with you right now how you can massively secure that your woman will never leave you. Ever. Okay? Now you probably will have some ups and downs in that relationship, because if you start a monogamous relationship, that's exactly how it's going to be. But what's going to happen if you really want to retain her, and you want to have a family with her, and you want to have kids with her, it is incredibly important for your future legend, your future legacy, that you manage to retain that woman. The most important thing that you can ever do for your children is to love their mother. I'll repeat it again. The most important thing that you can ever do for your kids is to love their mother, no matter the circumstances. And that's a choice for us men. For women, love is conditional. For men, it needs to be unconditional. But the way to actually make sure you always retain a woman in a romantic relationship is by simply taking the blame for everything, 100% of the time. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be the hardest thing you will ever do in your entire life, but that is how you retain a woman. Why? Because she will never in her entire life find another guy like you who always takes the blame for everything. Now, this is quite different from the players out there who basically the only thing that they do in order to retain a woman's attraction is to blame the woman. Okay, so I'm gonna go into the nitty-gritty into all of this, is how to make this work, because the players that actually do manage to keep the attraction going with women, they basically blame women all the time. And here I'm telling you that in order to retain your woman long term, you need to blame yourself every single time. You're the one who's responsible. You're the one who's going to make this work, not her. If you do that, you're going to keep her. The thing is, players never manage to keep a woman long term. And that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. I made this video so that you could know that it's actually possible for you to succeed no matter what, in whatever category of life you want to create abundance in. And I'm telling you right now, I know you want abundance in all of categories of life. And if you follow this channel, some of those things that I've shared today might be a little bit like, I don't quite get it. You have to explain to me a little bit more. Don't worry about it. I will. And that's why I'm saying the one thing that you can do to make sure that you will have success in your life and abundance in every single category of your life, follow this channel. Make sure you watch these videos again and again and again and again to understand the depth of why I'm saying what I'm saying, because there's so much more to it, and I'm going to share it with you. This is the Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. I'll see you in the next video.